To all the skeptics in the comments, I promise this is my actual biological voice you're hearing, not an AI, it's 100% organic. I haven't had a firmware update in years. You know that feeling, when you think you've finally landed the big one. You've been dating around, doing your own thing, and then, suddenly, the billionaire king of the metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg, smiles at you, with his perfectly symmetrical, definitely not a robot face and says, "Hey ASUS, let's build something beautiful together." You start picking out wedding drapes, or, in this case, high-end silicon and specialized optics. You think you're going to be the premium hardware partner for Horizon OS. You're going to be the Lexus to Meta's Toyota. And then, ghosted. Zuck did what Zuck does best. He looked at the partnership, looked at his own Quest 3 sales, and realized he didn't need a partner who actually knows how to build cooling fans. He hit ASUS with the classic, "It's not you, it's my burning desire for total platform dominance." He paused the Horizon OS partnership, leaving ASUS standing at the altar with a handful of half-baked R&D and a lot of hurt feelings. So what does ASUS do? Do they go home, eat a tub of ice cream and rethink their life choices? No. They do what every desperate person does after a bad breakup. They find a rebound. Enter XREAL. Now don't get me wrong, XREAL makes decent hardware, but this is like going from dating the person who owns the entire social media landscape to dating the person who's really good at making high-end sunglasses for people who don't go outside. The ROG XREAL R1 is the ultimate "I'm totally over him" product. ASUS is out here trying to convince us that they wanted to move away from full VR. They're telling us that mixed reality is actually just augmented reality with a gamer logo. It's a pivot so sharp it'll give you whiplash. They spent years talking about immersive worlds, and now they're like, actually, looking at your real living room, with a slightly blurry UI floating in it, is what the people really want. It's a masterpiece of corporate coping. They took all those high-end components they had planned for a Quest killer, and shoved them into a pair of oversized Wayfarers. It's the hardware equivalent of a revenge body, except instead of hitting the gym, they just added more RGB, and hope we wouldn't notice the lack of a functional operating system. Let's get one thing straight, because the marketing team is working overtime to gaslight you. This is not VR. If you buy this thinking you're going to be dodging bullets in Superhot or wandering the plains of Skyrim, you're going to be deeply disappointed. This is a 171-inch virtual TV strapped to your face. That's it. It's a glorified monitor that you wear like a pair of glasses. ASUS is pitching this to casual fans, but let's look at the reality. They use words like micro TV to make your brain tingle, but then they whisper the resolution 1080p per eye. In the year of our Lord 2026, we have phones with higher pixel density than these glasses. We have smart refrigerators that probably output more detail. Imagine buying a Ferrari but the windshield is made of slightly blurry plexiglass. You're sitting there, $600+ deep into this revolutionary tech, and you're looking at a screen that's essentially the same quality as the TV your uncle bought at a Black Friday sale in 2018. Sure, it's vibrant. Sure, the colors pop because OLED is magic, but you're going to see the pixels. It's like looking at the world through a screen door made of neon. And what are you actually going to do with it? ASUS says it's perfect for portable immersion. In reality, it's for people who want to look like they're living in the Matrix, while they're actually just playing Stardew Valley in a darkened bedroom, because they're too shy to use the 65-inch OLED in the living room. It's the ultimate anti-social device. You're paying a premium to shrink your field of view and pretend that a floating 1080 window is better than just looking at a real screen. It's a world, in the same way that looking through a keyhole is exploring a house. You're tethered to a digital box, looking at a flat plane of pixels, trying to convince yourself that this is the future. It's not the future, it's a high-tech blindfold that lets you watch YouTube while you're lying down. Now we get to the part where ASUS really starts smelling their own farts, the 240 Hz refresh rate. If you're a casual fan, let me explain what this means. It means the image on the screen updates 240 times every second. For an elite pro gamer, playing Counter-Strike in a basement, this is the difference between a headshot and a shameful death. For you, the person who just wants to watch the bear on a plane, it is the most useless feature since the diet button on a soda fountain. They're bragging about this like it's a gift from the gods. Look, it's so smooth. Yeah, the Netflix UI is going to look incredible while you scroll for 3 hours because you can't decide what to watch. You'll be able to see every frame of that "Are you still watching?" prompt with crystal clear fluidity. The irony here is delicious. They give you a 240 Hz refresh rate, which requires a massive amount of processing power and battery life, but they pair it with 1080p resolution. It's like having a car that can go 300 miles per hour, but only has a 1-gallon gas tank and square wheels. Who is this for? If you're a pro gamer who actually needs 240 Hz, you aren't playing on a pair of 91-gram glasses with a 1080p display. You're on a 360Hz BenQ monitor, with a wired mechanical keyboard, and enough caffeine in your system to stop a horse's heart. This is spec sheet padding. It's designed to make you feel like you're buying something pro, when you're really just buying an expensive toy. It's the tech equivalent of buying a tactical pen that can break glass and write underwater, even though the only thing you ever sign is a Starbucks receipt. ASUS knows that 240Hz sounds better in a YouTube ad than it has decent colors, so they're leaning into the overkill. Enjoy that 2 millisecond latency while you're clicking next episode on a sitcom from 2004. ASUS loves the word seamless. They use it in every press release. Seamless connectivity, they say. Effortless integration, they claim. Then you look at the box and realize you have to carry around a proprietary control dock. Let's talk about this dock. It's a plastic brick. It's the size of a smartphone but thicker and uglier. It's the brain of the operation because, let's be real, you can't fit a battery, a processor, and cooling into a 91-gram pair of glasses without them exploding on your face like a Note 7. So here is your portable setup. The glasses on your face, a thick USB-C cable running from your ear down to your pocket, the control dock in your pocket getting hot, an HDMI or DisplayPort cable running from the dock to your console or PC, possibly another power cable, because the dock's battery lasts about as long as a TikTok trend. You don't look like a cyberpunk hero. You look like a hospital patient being moved to a different ward. You're a walking nest of wires. If you try to walk through an airport with this setup, TSA isn't going to ask for your boarding pass, they're going to ask for a bomb squad. Seamless would be Bluetooth. Seamless would be, it just works. This is, some assembly required, and also you're now a human extension cord. Every time you want to stand up to get a glass of water, you have to remember that you're physically tethered to a plastic brick in your pocket, which is tethered to a console on the table. One wrong move, and you're pulling your $500 glasses off your face, and your $1,000 laptop off the desk. It's not a gaming accessory. It's a high-stakes game of Twister that you play by yourself. It wouldn't be a Republic of Gamers product if it didn't look like it was designed by a teenager who just discovered Tron. The R1 glasses feature RGB lighting on the temples. Think about that for a second. There are lights on the side of your head, lights that you cannot see while you are wearing the device. These lights serve exactly one purpose: to signal to everyone within a 50-foot radius that you are a gamer with a capital G and likely haven't seen direct sunlight in 48 hours. It is the ultimate look at me, but also don't talk to me signal. It's like putting neon underglow on a minivan. It doesn't make it faster, it just makes it more embarrassing to be seen in. But wait, ASUS has a solution for your inevitable social shame: auto-dimming lenses. They call them electrochromic. It sounds fancy, but it basically means the lenses tint themselves, so you don't have to look at the real world. They even have a transparency mode that clears the lenses when you look away from the virtual screen. This is marketed as a productivity feature, but we all know what it's really for. It's for that moment when your mom, roommate, significant other walks into the room, and you need to quickly pretend you weren't just staring at a 171-inch floating waifu. It's a social anxiety shield. And then there's the audio. Bose Tune speakers built into the arms. They claim it's immersive. Everyone else on the bus calls it that guy with the annoying tinny noise. These aren't bone conduction, they're just tiny speakers pointed at your ears. Everyone around you can hear exactly what you're doing. If you're playing a shooter, the person next to you gets to enjoy the muffled sounds of gunfire and explosions. If you're watching something else, well, let's just say the auto-dimming lenses won't save you from the judgmental stares of the people who can hear your private cinema. Finally, we get to the most terrifying part of the ROG XREAL R1, the price. As of right now, ASUS hasn't announced the official suggested retail price. In tech speak, this means one of two things: either they're waiting to see how much Apple charges for their next toy, so they can undercut them by $10, or the price is so high that the marketing team is still trying to figure out how to frame selling a kidney as a convenient financing option. You're paying for the ROG brand. You're paying for the Bose sticker on the side. You're paying for the R&D that Meta walked away from. Expect to pay a premium for the privilege of looking like a background extra from a low-budget sci-fi movie. And let's talk about that 91-gram weight. They brag about how light it is. It's like 20 nickels, they say. You know what else is light? Fragile things. These glasses are made of plastic, glass, and hope. They don't look like they could survive a sneeze, let alone being tossed into a backpack without a hard shell case. One accidental sit down on the couch, one "where did I put those" moment, and you've just turned a $600 investment into a very expensive pile of jagged plastic and micro OLED dust. So, who is this for? It's for the person who has everything and realizes they still aren't happy. It's for the casual fan who wants to feel hardcore without actually doing anything difficult. It's a beautiful, pointless, over-engineered piece of rebound tech that serves as a monument to ASUS' breakup with Meta.